What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mafia History Decoded. Before we dive into one of the most explosive true stories to ever come out of New York's underworld, do me a solid. Smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop your location in the comments. Whether you're in Brooklyn, London, Sydney, Manchester, or somewhere deep in the Midwest. I love seeing where the squad's watching from. Okay, now, let's get into the real-life saga of Seung-min, Ghost Kang, the ruthless Korean mafia boss who ruled Queens, gambling and nightclub empire, and Aaliyah Brooks, the fearless Harlem-born VIP lounge manager who shattered his ice-cold heart. This isn't fiction. This is a real case from the mid-2010s that sparked gang wars, federal conspiracies, and a love story that rewrote their lives. In the summer of 2015, Seung-min Kang was untouchable. At 36, he controlled underground casinos, loan sharking, and protection rackets across Flushing and Midtown. He was known as the Ghost, emotionless, ruthless, and never interested in women. Models, actresses, daughters of rival bosses, he ignored them all. Love was a weakness, and weakness got you killed. Until July 12, 2015. At an exclusive Midtown lounge called the Eclipse, Seung-min was leaving a tense meeting when his lieutenant grabbed a terrified waitress. The girl had spilled a drink. The lieutenant snarled at her in Korean, tightening his grip on her wrist. Then, Aaliyah Brooks stepped in. She was the VIP lounge manager, tall, stunning, with dark skin and eyes that dared anyone to challenge her. Born and raised in Harlem, she'd fought her way up in NYC's toughest clubs. She didn't tolerate disrespect from anyone. "Get your hands off my staff, now." Her voice cut through the music like a knife. The entire VIP section froze. Seung-min turned slowly. For the first time in years, his heart pounded. He'd never seen a woman stand like that, fearless, unbreakable. He didn't speak, just nodded at his lieutenant to release the girl. Then, he watched Aaliyah walk away like she owned the room. From that night, he was obsessed. He started showing up at the Eclipse every night, something he'd never done. He'd sit in the same booth, nursing the same drink, watching her. He learned everything. She had a younger brother in college, taught self-defense on weekends, and lived in Harlem. She didn't know who he was, just saw an arrogant rich man who needed to learn respect. One night, a drunk hedge fund investor grabbed Aaliyah's arm at the bar. She handled it, but Seung-min couldn't stay silent. "She told you to leave. I suggest you listen." The man fled. Aaliyah turned, arms crossed. "I didn't need your help." A faint smile tugged at Seung-min's lips, the first anyone had seen in years. "I know you didn't, but I couldn't stand by." What started as stolen glances turned into late-night conversations after the club closed. Aaliyah challenged him, calling out his arrogance, forcing him to laugh, making him feel human. He fell hard. But their love was dangerous. When word spread that the Ghost, a Korean mafia boss, was falling for a black woman, the underworld erupted. Traditionalists in his crew called it betrayal. Rivals, especially the Red Dragon Syndicate, saw weakness. Threats started small: slashed tires, broken windows at Aaliyah's apartment. Then, on a cold November night in 2016, Red Dragon enforcers tried to kidnap her outside her gym. Seung-min's men intervened, but the message was clear: she dies because of you. The Ghost responded like only he could. He launched a brutal gang war. Drive-by shootings, warehouse ambushes, and executions rocked Queens for months. The NYPD formed a special task force just to contain it. Through every gunshot and sleepless night, Aaliyah stayed by his side. She even picked up a gun during an ambush and saved his life. But the cost was too high. By early 2017, Seung-min made a choice. They had to disappear. Using his connections, he faked their deaths and vanished with Aaliyah into the remote forests of western Oregon. They became Jim and Amanda from Chicago. Peace lasted exactly 6 months. They lived in a weather-beaten cabin deep in the Oregon woods. Rain hammered the roof 24/7, a drumbeat matching Seung-min's restlessness. Aaliyah stared out foggy windows, coffee gone cold in her hands. "6 months," she whispered. "6 months since we were Ghost and Aaliyah. Now we're just hiding." Seung-min watched her. Even in flannel and no makeup, she was the woman who'd shattered his world. But fear shadowed her eyes now. You should have stayed in New York. And let Red Dragon paint the streets with my blood, she fired back. Don't be stupid, Kang. He flinched. She rarely used his real name anymore. I meant the danger follows us. You deserve a normal life. Normal, she laughed bitterly. I grew up watching my father get jumped by Bloods on 125th Street. Normal left me a long time ago. She stepped closer. But this, hiding, jumping at every creek, that's not living. That's dying slowly. Just then, his encrypted burner phone buzzed. One text. Ghost, we found your grave. It's in Oregon. Dragon's blood. Aaliyah saw the color drain from his face. Who is it? Someone who survived, he whispered, grabbing his holster. Someone who wants revenge for the Red Dragon leaders I executed. Back in Queens, Park Jae-hoon, a Red Dragon enforcer left for dead during Seung-min's final ambush, had spent 6 months hunting them. He wasn't just after revenge. He wanted the USB drive Seung-min had taken, a drive containing evidence linking NYC's most powerful politicians to the mafia's money laundering. Controlling it meant controlling the city. Jae-hoon tracked them to a cabin in Mapleton, Oregon. 2 nights later, Aaliyah went into town alone for supplies. As she loaded groceries into their truck, a black SUV idled at the far end of the parking lot. Inside, Jae-hoon watched through binoculars. Grab her alive, he ordered 2 hooded men. They approached. Excuse me, ma'am, can you help us find the post office? Aaliyah's hand slid into her coat pocket, where her .38 revolver waited. Sure, it's 2 blocks. Bam! A shot rang out, not at her but at the SUV. Jae-hoon's window shattered. From behind a dumpster, Carlos Vega, a former NYPD detective turned private investigator, fired cover shots. Seung-min had hired him months ago as a security consultant. Get in the truck, Aaliyah, now, Carlos yelled. She dove into the Ranger just as Jae-hoon's men returned fire. Bullets peppered the truck's rear. Back at the cabin, Seung-min was already in tactical gear. I told you to stay put. And let Red Dragon take her. Carlos tossed him a fresh clip. They're holed up at the old lighthouse 20 miles north. Jae-hoon's leading them. Aaliyah stormed in, face pale but eyes blazing. We end this, tonight. The abandoned Cape Arago lighthouse stood against the stormy Pacific. Waves crashed violently below. Jae-hoon and his men controlled the top floor. Seung-min, Aaliyah, and Carlos took positions on the cliffs. Plan, Aaliyah whispered. Distract them. I go in quiet through the service tunnel, Seung-min said. Carlos, cover us. Aaliyah, stay here. Hell no, she hissed. You need me watching your back, always have. He didn't argue. Inside the lighthouse, Jae-hoon smirked as Seung-min emerged from the tunnel. Come on in, Ghost. I've been waiting. Seung-min held up the USB drive, dangling it. Looking for this. Give it to me, and I'll let you walk out, Jae-hoon spat. You know me better than that, Seung-min said coldly. You killed my men, you threatened her. That USB is the last thing you'll ever see. Gunfire erupted. Jae-hoon's men rushed in, only to be cut down instantly. It was just the 2 warlords now, circling each other, breathing hard. Why her, Ghost? Jae-hoon panted, dodging a shot. A black girl from Harlem, you betrayed your own kind for her. Seung-min's finger tightened on the trigger. His voice dropped to a lethal whisper. She's the only person who looked at me and saw a man, not a monster. You wouldn't understand. You only know how to destroy. He fired. Jae-hoon stumbled back, a bullet in his shoulder. You think she'll ever love a killer? Jae-hoon laughed, blood bubbling from his lips. She already does, Seung-min said, closing in. And she'd take a bullet for me, just like I'd take one for her. Bang. Jae-hoon collapsed, dead. Seung-min stood over him, breathing hard. No triumph, just exhaustion. He picked up the USB drive. Outside, gunfire ceased. Aaliyah and Carlos approached. Aaliyah saw the body, then ran to Seung-min, grabbing his face. Are you hit? Talk to me. I'm fine, he murmured, pulling her close. It's over. Carlos checked Jae-hoon. He's done, but boss, someone always finds us. Aaliyah looked out at the raging Pacific. Then we go somewhere no one can find us, somewhere with no name, no past. She turned to Seung-min. We build a real life together. He kissed her, deep, desperate, promising everything. But as they walked back, Carlos whispered, the USB drive, it's got enough dirt to bury half of Washington. What do we do with it? Seung-min looked at Ollie, then at the drive. A slow, dangerous smile spread. We use it to make sure no one ever comes for us again. They chose a beach house in Negril, Jamaica. No neighbors, no past, just sun, sand, and peace. Seung-min plugged the USB drive into a secure laptop. Files spilled out. Senator Robert Vance, offshore accounts. Mayor of NYC protection payoffs. FBI deputy director, bribes from Red Dragon. This is a nuke, Carlos breathed. If this leaks, half of DC goes to prison. Aaliyah leaned in. So we blackmail them, make them leave us alone. Seung-min shook his head. Too messy, we do it cleaner. He called Agent Marcus Harper, Aaliyah's former FBI handler. Harper, it's Seung-min Kang. Yeah, I'm alive, and I have something you want. Agent Marcus Harper arrived alone at a secluded Jamaican resort. He looked older, wearier, but his eyes were sharp. Kang, thought you were dead. Almost was, thanks to your agency leaking my location to Red Dragon. Harper didn't flinch. We had a mole, he's in prison now, why am I here? Seung-min slid, the USB drive across the table. This, every corrupt politician who took Red Dragon money. I want two things. 1, full immunity for Aaliyah and me, erased from every database. 2, the mole who leaked our location. Give me his name. Harper stared at the drive. You're asking for a kingdom. And if it's fake, Aaliyah spoke up, then arrest us, but you know it's real. Harper sighed. Fine, immunity, but the mole, that's classified. Unclassify it, Seung-min said, pulling out his phone. Or I upload this to every news outlet right now. Harper took the drive. You'll have your immunity. Paperwork comes tomorrow. The mole's name is Agent Darius Cole. He's working out of the DC field office now. Seung-min stored the name. Thank you, Agent. As Harper left, Aaliyah gripped Seung-min's arm. Why do you need his name? Because, he said darkly, he's the reason Jae-hoon found us, and he'll try again. Immunity papers arrived, official U.S. government documents granting them complete anonymity. New identities, a clean slate. They celebrated with cheap champagne. Hope felt real. Then, a knock echoed at the door. Not polite, a demand. Seung-min drew his pistol. Aaliyah positioned herself beside him. Carlos checked the peephole. It's Malik, Carlos whispered. Malik Brooks, Aaliyah's younger brother. He looked haunted, eyes bloodshot, clothes rumpled. Behind him stood 2 men in suits. Ali, Malik rushed in, embracing her. Thank God you're alive. They told me you were dead. Aaliyah hugged him tight. Who told you? Who are they? Malik stepped back, face grim. FBI, Agent Cole. He said you and Kang were terrorists, that you killed Jae-hoon and stole government property. He has a warrant for your arrest. Seung-min's blood ran cold. Darius Cole, the mole. He's lying, Seung-min said calmly. We have immunity. Immunity, Malik scoffed. He showed me your warrant, signed by a federal judge. One agent stepped forward. Seung-min Kang, Aaliyah Brooks, you're under arrest for the murder of Park Jae-hoon and theft of classified materials. Aaliyah moved like lightning, grabbing Malik and shoving him behind her. Malik, get out now. Seung-min leveled his gun. Your warrant's fake. Cole forged it. Check your badges. The lead agent smirked. Save it for your trial. He reached for his radio. Bang, bang. Carlos dropped both agents with headshots. Silence, then chaos. Carlos, Aaliyah yelled. I've got them, Carlos said, reloading. But more will come. We need to move, now. Malik trembled. Ali, what's going on? Who is this man? Aaliyah looked at Seung-min, his face hardened, ready for war. She made a decision. Malik, meet your brother-in-law, and the man who's going to save our family. They couldn't run. Cole had painted a target on their backs. To be free, they had to burn the corruption to the ground. Seung-min called Senator Vance directly. Senator, I have every transaction you made with Red Dragon. I'll release them, unless you do exactly what I say. Vance panicked. What do you want? A live press conference. You confess. You name every corrupt official. And you expose Agent Darius Cole as the mole who's been selling information to gangs for years. Do it today. Vance agreed, terrified. Meanwhile, Seung-min, Aaliyah, Carlos, and Malik drove nonstop to Washington, D.C. Their goal, FBI headquarters. Cole was waiting in the lobby, flanked by 10 armed agents. Kang, Brooks, surrender the drive, Cole shouted. Seung-min walked forward, hands empty. Aaliyah and Carlos flanked him. The drives, already copied to 50 news outlets. Seung-min said loudly, if we don't walk out alive, it goes public. Every scandal. Your career, Cole, along with half of Washington, ends tonight. Cole's face turned purple. You think you can threaten the FBI? I'm not threatening the FBI, Seung-min said. I'm threatening the corrupt ones, the real agents, the ones who serve justice there on our side. He turned to the agents. You know Cole's dirty. Check his safe. You'll find Red Dragon payment ledgers. He sold Jaehoon our location. He forged the warrant. He's the traitor, not us. Murmurs spread. One young agent stepped forward. Sir, it's true. I saw Cole meeting with known gang associates. Cole lunged for his gun, but Seung-min was faster. He didn't shoot. He handcuffed him. You're under arrest, Agent Cole, for treason, conspiracy, and attempted murder. As backup FBI units swarmed in, Seung-min handed the USB drive to a senior agent. Everything in there, test it. 1 month later. A quiet beach house in Negril, Jamaica. No neighbors, no past. Seung-min sat on the porch watching the sunrise. Aaliyah joined him, handing him coffee. She wore a simple sundress. No guns, no fear, just peace. Immunity's final, she said. All records erased. We're Miguel and Aisha from Barbados now. He pulled her close. And Malik. Back in Harlem, finished his degree. He visits next month. She smiled. He calls you brother-in-law now, with respect. Seung-min chuckled, a real warm sound. The ghost was gone. I was thinking, Aaliyah said. Maybe we will open a security consulting firm. Legit this time. Only if you're the CEO, he said. You're better at running things than I ever was. They watched the sun climb higher, painting the sky gold. The war was over. The love that started in the shadows of New York had finally brought them into the light. They had won. That's a wrap, Mafia History Decoded family. If this real-life mafia love story moved you, here's what to do next. Smash the like button. Subscribe and hit the bell. Comment your city and type, this story was fire. We've got more true mafia sagas coming next. The Italian mobster who fell for his FBI handler drops on Tuesday. Until then, stay sharp, stay loyal, and never trust anyone who says, trust me.